Hello everyone and welcome back to Horizon. Now, someone has asked me, how the heck do you drift in this game? So today I'm going to give you a short answer and a long answer. For those of you who want a more detailed explanation, obviously stay for the long answer. However, for the short answer, simply buy any car you like that has good acceleration, go to Others, go to Drift Mode, and set the tire friction closer to max, because in this game that means you'll have less grip. You don't want to set it all the way to max, because if you have no grip at all, you'll most likely be spinning out and be unable to recover from a drift. So set it closer to max. I usually keep mine at 90 or 95%, although there's no way to tell for sure how much I'm using. For the long answer, you want to take a car that has decent balance. Now, what I mean by that is that it does not have too much weight at the rear or the front. There is no way to tell how balanced a car is unless you actually drive it and get a feel for it for yourself. I use the Supra because it is very well balanced. It is not too heavy at the rear nor too heavy at the front and can slide very well. So like I said, there is no way to know for sure, so if you have a car that you like in this game and you want to try drifting with it, go ahead. There is no perfect drift car since they are all different. So, for this video, I am going to buy a completely new car and set it up for drifting. So, that way you can see what I do in the garage, and mostly it's just getting the ultimate engine and ultimate steering upgrades and trying to find a good level of tire friction. For this video, I'm going to buy a Bmw M3. Now, if only I can get this to work. Be right back after I manage to buy it. Okay, so here we are in the garage. Like I said, you want to make sure you have good acceleration, because you usually won't have enough space to speed up, so get ultimate engine. If you have the money to spare, you can get ultimate steering, although it's not exactly necessary. Transmission and braking isn't useful as well. Now, the most important thing is, of course, as I said earlier, tire friction. You want to set it closer to the max. However, you don't want to put it all the way at max, because then you'll end up spinning out, like I said earlier. So, I'm going to set it at somewhere close to max. That's like 85% or something. We'll try that out first. Now, let's hit the road. Before we try out the BMW, there is something that you should keep in mind if you're planning to drift in this game. That is, the current version that I am playing, every single car is all-wheel drive with no bias, and there is some kind of traction control that prevents you from accelerating more than the tires can grip. What this means is that once you start drifting, you will be unable to pick up more speed, and your front end will pull your rear end back in. So how long you can drift will entirely depend on how fast you're going once you start drifting. And the problem with that is if you go too fast, you'll go too far and hit a wall or a curb or something. But if you go too slow, you won't be able to drift for long enough. This is only a problem with the current version of Horizon, which is 0.15. In a future update, which the devs are making right now, they're planning on correcting the layouts of all the cars. So, for example, the Supra will be rear-wheel drive like it is in other games, such as Need for Speed Most Wanted 2015, even though that isn't the best drift game. And I'll show you on screen, that's what it should be able to do. Anyways, back to the BMW. It'll take a while to get used to a new drift car, so don't be sad if you hit a curb a few times, because that'll happen. There's no way you can know how to drift a car the moment you get into it. Okay, now what you can see here is that this still has a bit too much grip. You can see that it has too much grip because because it's losing too much speed when it's turning, and it's also sliding a bit too far. This probably means this BMW has a heavier rear than this. Okay, for me that's too much grip because that is too different from my Supra. It just slides differently, so I'm going to put it a bit higher this time. Okay, that feels a lot better. But can it clear the gas station like the Supra can? Oh, I kinda went in too fast there. There's a different speed that you should enter in for all these turns. For example, the narrow streets, Normally you want to go at 90 miles per hour. For the wider streets, you could probably go faster, probably to up to 110. And through the gas station, I usually go at 135 or 140 miles per hour. Okay, this BMW is feeling a lot better. I think I'll keep it this way for now. Probably practice with it some other time. Once you've gotten a car that you can drift with, and there's other things to keep in mind. Braking, you want to make sure you enter at a correct speed, so don't be afraid to use the brakes. After all, you might be drifting, but it's still a turn. You still can't be going too fast. Some cars can enter turns faster than others. Some cars have to go in and slower. And as for the handbrake, you can use the handbrake to start a drift and start losing grip. And some people hold the handbrake, some people don't. And honestly, it's kind of a mixture of both. You can hold the handbrake to slide more outwards, and if you let go of the handbrake, your car will start recovering faster. So really, use the handbrake if you started a drift too early and you want to save, and you kind of want to save it from hitting the curb or something. And if you need to recover faster, just don't hold the handbrake at all. After all, what you're really doing is aiming the car and just using the handbrake to kind of adjust the amount of time it takes to recover. Counter steering, which is steering the other direction, is kind of just to stop your car from spinning too much. If you're getting too much of an angle, you want to counter steer. If you're not getting enough angle, you want to stop counter steering. And if you see your car's about to recover, you should probably stop counter steering as well. Otherwise, you'll end up turning the other way. As for automatic and manual transmission, I don't really think there's a difference. I have tried both. Obviously, manual is much harder. You shift with Q and E. It makes it really hard if you're used to driving with WASD. So, automatic, manual, it doesn't matter. Pick whichever one you like best. And that should conclude this video. I don't think there's anything else to talk about when it comes to drifting in Horizon. So just go on Horizon, get a car with ultimate engine, and start sliding. See you around, guys.